Industrial Foregoing has got to be one of the greatest mods. I love it, and there's so much stuff you can do with it, and today we're going to go right from the basics and hopefully get into some more advanced stuff as well. So let's get on with it. The main crafting material in Industrial Foregoing is plastic, and to get that we're going to need to start with a fluid extractor, and this gets us latex, which we can then turn into plastic. So this is a fairly simple thing to craft, a little bit expensive if you're really early games, a lot of redstone and iron involved, but it's not too bad, and I've plenty of gold now, so that's not a problem. I am going to do quite a few of these, but we'll just do the basics for now so I can show you how it works. And then we also need a latex processing unit. So again, another one of these. I'll do a few of these because they're going to be used. And let's just get a ton of buckets. We'll need those. And latex processing unit. Right. So for this, if we just look at the uses of it, we put a log down in front of it and it will get a certain amount of latex from it. And notice as well, it says tripled when powered. So we are going to power these so we can definitely get more out of it. But what we'll look at is these numbers here. So each of the different logs will give you a different amount. And as far as I know, acacia is the best one. So I've had a quick look through it and there doesn't seem to be anything higher than acacia. So that is the one I'm going to go for because I do have quite a lot of it. I've been growing that downstairs in my botany pots. So we'll just grab a stack of this. I'll get this up there and get this set up. But firstly, I also want to craft a redstone furnace. And I will explain why in a minute. But I think I should have everything for this because we did this last time, didn't we? It was a bit of a process. Bricks. I've got bricks. Yes. What else? One of these. Tin gate. Machine frame. And finally, redstone furnace. Right. I've got everything for that. And I think I've got all my pipes and stuff on me. Yeah. Right, we've got this, so let's get back into the factory. I've done a little bit of work, and I've set up the power cable going to the second floor. So we'll just go over here to where we have the power stored. We'll just have all of our gas burning generators going into these energy cubes, and they're going to there. And I have this one at the bottom extracting, going into the factory, and then both of them going to the quantum entangler porter for like the higher power usage somewhere else. So I've just run this cable under the floor and up through this column we've got here. We then have that coming up here. I've done it under the floor, so it's a little bit out of the way. So I've just got it going down here, and I don't know how many of these I'm going to have. Probably going to go in both directions. So maybe because these are all odd numbers, I could do this as 5 and then have another 5 here. And I could also, if it doesn't look too cramped, I could have another 5 in front as well. But let's not worry about that too much yet. So firstly, we want the fluid extractor, and I believe you do this facing the way that you've got the logs. So if we do that like that and then have that looking at it, yeah, so that will start extracting latex from that, and I believe it should, no, it's not powered, is it? Right, it is getting a little bit of latex, but that isn't powered. So let's see if we can see why that is. Did I run it under there? I probably didn't, did I? I've done it down the column, but yeah, that's it. Okay, so let's just connect this up somehow like that. Will I do it? Yeah. No, I don't want you doing that. All right, so let's just disconnect that because that's my output from the gas burn generators, and I don't want it to interfere with this one. So okay, so we'll seal all that back up in a minute, but let's just have a look up here and see if that is powered now. Okay, yeah, that's got power in there, and we have latex already coming out of that. So I think what I'll do here, I'm gonna have these polished cut deep slate going down the middle here. Well, yeah, I could have the pipes coming out the back, but then I've got some over here going up. Right, let's just do a rough setup for now, and I can tweak this once I get going. But if we just have the fluid pipes coming out the back like this, then I'm going to put my latex processing unit just there. All we need to do, well, we need to power this for a start. Alright, so that's powered. It also needs water, doesn't it? I didn't think about that. I should keep things on me because they're so useful. If we turn this to extract, and I've got some upgrades on me as well. So I don't think I'm going to need upgrades because I'm going to have a few of these. I don't really want to craft these for each one. So yeah, that is already empty. So I think it's fast enough for how fast these things work. I'm going to upgrade them as well eventually, but for how fast they're working in a minute, I think that's all right. So I've got latex going into there, and I also want water going into it. All right, what I could do, because I want a redstone furnace, let's put that next to it. Don't know how pretty this is going to look, but then if I put the water there like that, I'm not sure of this. All right, so I want to pull that from the left. Is that going to work? Yeah, that's working. It's not very fast, so I could probably do with a pipe in between it. So I'll put that there. And then we can put a pipe on top, but then I want to disconnect that so they don't interfere with each other. Right, so we've already got the first bit of dry rubber in there. Right, that's good. Don't pull, and then we'll put an upgrade in there so that goes really fast. Okay, so as the latex and the water comes in, that is going to turn this into dry rubber. Now, if you played with Industrial Foregoing before, this is actually skipping a step, because this used to give you tiny dry rubber, and you used to take 9 of them, craft them into this, and then this will be cooked in a furnace to give you the plastic. So if we just change the output to push into the redstone furnace, does that work? Right, I haven't got any power yet. Do that there. Right, that's getting power. No. You know what? This isn't the right furnace. I don't want this. Ignore that. I want a resourceful furnace. Let's try that again. Right, so let's see if we can craft this thing. No, we need plastic for this. So, tell you what. I know what I'm doing, honestly. Let's use the redstone furnace for now. Once we get a little bit of plastic, we change this into a resourceful furnace. So, I want input there. Do that. Right, so this is going to turn into plastic. I only need 4 of them. I should be able to craft a resourceful furnace. It's really slow, but to do the upgrades, we also need the latex as well. So, yeah, just have to put up with it for now. So let's go craft a few more of the fluid extractors. So I'll put logs down first. I am going to automatically place these eventually as well. I'm just doing the absolute basics in a minute. And then we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. And turn all these onto extracts. Right, so hopefully that should come in a little bit faster. Yeah. So we've already got 3 now. And the reason I want the resourceful furnace is because as a byproduct of cooking, it also gives you the essence, and we need that for some other things that we're going to do today. So you don't get loads from it, but it's just handy to have a little bit extra. Right, so I've got another one coming out. Let's just wait for this, and then we can do the resourceful furnace straight away. Right, I'll have those. Let's go to it. Resourceful furnace, 1 gold gear, no problem. And there we go. Right. And again, this can be upgraded as well, but we need the latex and probably some other stuff to do that. Have you? Oh, that plastic. Don't vanish. That was... I'll go get that in a minute. Okay, so resourceful furnace. This should work the same way. Input. That's already pushing to the right, isn't it? Let's just see if that goes in there. Yeah, that went in there. Okay, so let's just see. Do we have a chest? That's way over the top. We definitely don't need this much. Actually, no. Let's get a draw. Let's do it properly. And we'll craft up an ultimate fluid tank. Actually, no, what? We haven't got enough for the alloys. That's all right. We've got an elite fluid tank. That should do for now, and then we can store the essence in there. And I am going to import this all into my A2 system eventually, but let's just go basic for now. And I'm going to have another 5 at this side. This is a very messy setup. I'll probably put the resourceful furnace above here. You know, it's alright for now. Let's leave it like that for now. So we'll just put the drawer on top, and we'll put the tank to the side. And I want to push the essence to the right. That's going into there, and the plastic wants to go up to the top. Okay, let's just lock this and number it. Right, okay, so we have 2 plastic. Exciting times. Right, so we'll leave this to do its thing. And once we've got a little bit of plastic, I'll start saving the latex, and we do some upgrades, and it's ready. Great. Right, so back over at the mob farm, I'll explain why I'm doing this. I'm mainly getting into industrial foregoing so I can use the essence, and there's 2 things I really want to do with that. One of them is to use the mob duplicator, and this basically, you capture a mob, put it into this thing, and it will just create absolutely tons of it. So it's a really good way of doing a mob farm. It's just the essence that is usually the bottleneck of being able to spawn more and more of these things. But the other thing I really want to do is get into the enchantment stuff. And I have done this in a previous series, getting an enchantment factory going, and it'll just auto-enchant things over and over again, and you can automatically extract those enchants onto books. And because we have apotheosis now as well, I can take that a step further and put it into a library and just create really overpowered books. But before we get into all that, we need to get everything up and running. And the best way of getting the essence is from the mob crusher. So this is basically just a block that will kill anything that's in front of it. And it is a fairly cheap recipe. We've already got the plastic going. Everything else, nice and simple. The only thing that's a bit tricky is the advanced machine frame. And to do that, yeah, it's a bit of ancient debris, and everything else is pretty simple. But we need pink slime, and don't have that yet. And the only way of getting pink slime is from a mob slaughter factory. Now this thing is very easy, and the outputs from this liquid meat, which we're not going to use, and the pink slime. And you get a lot less pink slime you do liquid meat, so we're just going to get rid of this. Well, the pink slime we can use in a dissolution chamber to make the advanced machine frame, which we can use for the mob crusher. So with that in mind, I've set up another spawning area in my mob farm. So we had this one set up with all the apotheosis spawners, and I'm going to do the same thing over here, but instead of killing them with a mob masher, I'm going to still funnel them down here. I've got an absolute ton of vector plates. I crafted way too many, so I'm still going to push them down here. And this is also a manual killing area, because I also want to get some of the apotheosis gems. So we're jumping ahead a bit. I'm doing lots of things at the same time, so I will use this for manual stuff as well, but I'm going to get the mob crusher and the mob slaughter factory set up down here as well, so we can get the essence and the pink slime. So I do have a few things to do up here. I've not finished building it yet, and it is completely outside at the minute, but at least it's night time, so I can skip the rain. But I have pretty much extended this basement down here as well, so we've got a nice big area down here. Could probably do some automation down here as well, and I've also added in another ME crafting terminal down here. And doing this, I got another advancement, and that was the network apprentice. And it is nice to get advancements, but this one actually works as a warning. This now means I'm using 8 channels. Now, I'm not sure if that means I'm using them on one side of my controller, but it probably does. But if there are 8 channels going through this cable, if I try and add any more, they won't work. So I've got a terminal over that way. I've got the storage bus, another terminal there. I think that's it. Actually, I've got one terminal there as well. So actually, on this cable, I think I've only got 4. So yeah, it must mean 8 in total on the network. But anyway, we'll need to keep an eye on that and get a better setup going for A2 eventually. But I think for now, we need to get these spawners in there and maybe do a bit of manual killing, see if we can get some gems, and then get on with the industrial foregoing stuff. So here, you'll see I have 2 spawners, and I've already upgraded these, so they're now redstone controlled, so they're not going to spawn anything. And I've upgraded them, so the minimum spawn delay on both is 20. I haven't done the max spawn delay all the way down because I don't want absolutely tons of these mobs. I have put the spawn count up to the top of 16, but the activation range for these are only 12. And to up that, I need to get some prismarine crystals, and I haven't found an ocean monument yet, so I'm just thinking, should we do that? It is a bit of a side quest, but we could do it, couldn't we? I do have the Explorer's Compass mod, and I believe this should show you... Oh, I don't have any cobwebs. Alright, maybe I can't do that. Can I make cobwebs? No. Honeycomb is something I want to get into for apotheosis though, but can I do this? Oh, that's Britannia. Maybe I can't do that yet then. Right, so we'll just leave these as they are for now, but when I'm over there, this should be enough. Should give that a go. Let's set these up. Okay, so I've got those 2 spawners set up now, and as you can see, this is going a bit mad. I think these are actually entity gramming now. So... Oh, actually, I set this up. Oh, I'm so organised, I didn't realise I'd done this. Right, so I've got the absorption hop here on a diamond chest. This will get automatically sorted eventually, but for now, it should do the trick. Should we turn this down a bit? Yeah, definitely going to need to automatically kill these at some point. Alright, so a little bit of time, but I have got 1 gem, which is good. Oh no, I've got 2. A few other little bits. And all this armour, I think we can just get rid of. I don't think this is anything I can grind down for apotheosis. It's not the good stuff, is it? Right, you know what? I think I need to turn this off because he's a bit mad now. And yes, I am still looking into ways of doing this. I think I'm going to do it with RF tools, actually. There should be a decent way of wirelessly turning these on and off. Right, so I've killed a few things there, and I have got a few gems. Not tons, but it'll probably take some time, and I need to automate getting rid of all this stuff that I don't want. But I think this is the only way to go, because you have to kill mobs yourself to get the gems. That's just the way apotheosis is done. So this is how we're going to do it. But for now, let's see how the plastic is going and see if we can get on to some industrial foregoing. Right, so the plastic has been going very well, and as you can see, I have expanded this quite a bit. So we had these 5, and this got me quite a bit. I also added in another 5 over here, and I also doubled it up on the front. So we now have 20 of these things. So 10 of them are just going to go into the bit we set up earlier, into the latex processing unit. I'll put the resourceful furnace on top now, and that'll do its thing as before. And then at the other side, we have these 10, and these are just going to go into an ultimate fluid tank. And I'm planning on importing this into AE, so that is what we're going to do next. The plastic, it doesn't look like there's a lot, but I have already just taken a stack out, and I've crafted up these things to block places. So what we can do with these, if we put some acacia logs in there, when they get around to it, they will place those automatically. So when the blocks run out, as they do quite quickly, and I haven't got the upgrades in yet either, these will just be replaced automatically by these, and that'll do its thing. So I just need to get them in at this side. So I'll put half stack in these for now, and I am going to automate piping these into here, but you know, got stuff to do, so I'll just do it like this for now. And look at that, I had the exact right amount. Nice. Okay, so that is the plastic setup, and we already have, what, 46 buckets in there, and this is coming in really quickly, and that's not powered for some reason. Why is that not powered? Right, one there. Yeah, looks like these are all powered. Right, okay, that's good. Okay, so now I want to get on with doing the dissolution chamber, but I want to be able to automatically access this without having to take this tank or coming up here with buckets. So what I want to do is import this into AE2. As we saw earlier, I'm starting to use up a few channels, so I want to upgrade my controller a little bit and also the cables so I can see what's going on with the channels. Okay, so I've been doing a little bit of work and I've crafted up 7 more ME controllers, and I'm also going to grab this one as well, which is now broken everything and I can't access anything, but sorry, we're going to fix that. So back here I've dug out a little bit of a room, and for now I'm only doing a fairly small controller, obviously more than just one, but if I break 3 of these, what I'm going to do is put these in a square with a hole in the middle, and if we put this like this, that should, no, because I need to power that right, so let's just run these along here and into the side of this, and that should power that, and we should be back up and running. Yep. Okay, yep, that's working now. So if we go back in here, that should be exactly as it was before. If that boots up. Why is that? Oh, and I'm not connected. Right. Right, so luckily I've got some fluix cables on me, so if I just connect that up, that has connected everything in there. Now in here, right, so everything is as it was before. Okay, so the first thing we can do is upgrade these cables to the smart cables, and that means we can see how many channels are being used just by looking at them. So if we look at the recipe for the smart cables, firstly we need to craft covered cables, and that is why I made such a big deal of getting tons of wool. So I'm going to craft up, I don't know how many I've got, right, so that must be all of my fluix cable, and I can now take that and turn it into smart cable. And what we're also going to need is some dense smart cable, but I don't need tons of this. Oh no, I ain't done all that yet, right, okay. Right, so I've got a lot of smart cable, and then I can turn some of this, and I'll just get 2 for now. I'll show you why in a minute, because this is quite expensive. As you saw there, that is quite expensive to do these, and ideally you want these running all over, because these can run 32 channels, whereas these can only run 8, just like the normal ones. I'll take this out, move this a bit so I can see what's going on, and I'm going to move all these drives as well eventually. I'll just leave it like this for now. Let's be a bit smarter about this, shall we? That goes up to my storage drawers. So if I just put... In fact, you don't need to take them all out. You could just put one like that, and then have these ones running along, and you'll still be able to see in this one how many channels are being used. But if we just do this, just to look cooler, to be honest. So we just connect that up like that. It should say there's using 4 channels, I think. Yeah. So that's these 2 drives, this terminal, and the storage bus that's on the draw controllers. Okay, so the other thing I want to do is be able to send 32 channels into the factory and into the mob farm. But I don't want to craft up an absolute ton of these. So to do that, what we can do, and I'm just going to do it a real simple way for now, if we just have that on the side of there, and that one there, we'll be able to see on here that these are providing 32 channels. Now, what we can do is use a P2P network and send 32 channels compressed along the normal fluix cable, and it'll only take up 1 channel, and then at the other end we can uncompress it and then have 32 channels wherever we want it. So to do that, we need to craft up some P2P tunnels. It's the ME ones I want, but we can also use different ones to send redstone or items, energy, and basically anything we want to do. But the main one we want to use is these. So we're going to need 4, because we've got 2 lots that we're sending, but we need 1 at each end as well. So let's see if we can do 4 of these. Perfect. And then we need the card for configuring it, called a memory card. So let's craft 1 of these as well, and we only need 1 of those. So now, if we put that on there, and on there, right, so you see there, what I want to do is run the cable back into here, but I don't want them to connect to this. Very simple way of sorting that, and let's just be lazy and go in the back of here. So if I get some cable anchors, I need 2 of these, and if I put those on the side of these, I can now run the normal fluix cable in between, not you. If I now run the normal fluix cable in there, that will connect to these. So let's go set up the other end of this in the mob farm. But before I do that, I need to shift and right click with this memory card on there, and it'll say device configuration created and copied to memory card. And now if I come to the cable that comes into the mob farm, I'm just going to break this, and then what we can do here is put our other P2P tunnel like that. I want to have a dense cable on here so I can run 32 channels if I need to. I definitely won't need to in here, but we'll do that for now. So put the dense cable on there, and then if I just right click on this one, it says loaded configuration. So you should be able to see in here how many we're using, and 4 is right, so I've got 2 terminals, 1 storage bus. Actually no, I've got 3 terminals. So what I'm going to do as well is I think I'm going to take this cable out and redo the one that goes over into the factory. So let's just get rid of this. And probably quite a lot of it underground, but I'm going to redo this going over there properly. But at least that one is in here. So we are now using 4 channels in here, but we're only using 1 channel in this cable here. So we could send more across here, but that is way more than good enough for now. Right, so that's the other one done. Use the exact same process here, and I've got this one set up in the factory, and I've just done it at the other side from where all the power gen is. And we now just need to get a cable from here into the bit where we're producing the latex. So I'll get that done and we'll have a look. Okay, so quite a bit of time later, and I've had a bit of a rethink. I've still got this one in here. I did move it up a bit, so it's a bit more central, and that is still wired up. But I've also done the same at the other side as well, because there's no real easy way of getting cables from one side to the other. I haven't left a gap in this middle section between the ceiling and the floor above, so I can't go that way. The only way I'll be able to do it is on the ground floor, so I'm not going to do that. So what I've done is set up another one up here, and I've already got this wired up to where the plastic is processed. So if we just have a look up here, I can start wiring up some of the things I want to do. So I've got those 32 channels coming over here, and then I've run a flux cable, so I'm bringing 8 channels up here. And then what I want to do, I've decided to do this 2 different ways. Now, this fluid tank is full, so it might not be the best idea, this, but what I was thinking was of just keeping this storage here, and then I'm going to import the essence. And the reason for that is I'm only really going to use this manually, whereas this is going to be more automated and it's coming in from different sources. So I thought the best thing to do with this would be to put an import bus on it. Now, I don't know how I'm going to wire this up because it's not the most ideal situation, but I could just do like that and have an ME cable coming up there. That'd work. It's not great, but it'll do for now. And then this one, I can do a little bit tidier. I can just do this underneath. So with this, instead, I'm just going to have a storage bus. So it will just stay here, but I can access it from any of my ME terminals. All right, so if we look in here and click on fluids, yeah, so we can see we've got 256 buckets of latex. So now I can export that into the dissolution chamber or just put a bucket in and grab it. Right, so that's that bit done, but I also want to import the essence, don't I? So if we just set up a fluid cell, what I want is one of these. So we'll just do the 1K for now. That should be more than good enough. So I'll grab that, and I'm in the wrong spot. So let's get back over here and put this in the drives. And you can just put this in the drive, and you can mix it in with the item ones. So if I look again on fluids, I didn't wire up that up yet, did I? So let's go put this fluids cable on there, and we should, in theory, see the essence start coming into there. Right, so there's 1800 millibuckets in there, so I'll look at that now. That is not importing, so we may need to... Oh, no, actually, that is going. So, yeah, I may need to put some acceleration cards in here just to make this go a little bit quicker. But it is doing it, so that is importing that, which is great news. Okay, so I'll just tidy this up a little bit. I can put some cable covers on here to tidy this up, but if I just cover this up anyway... Yeah, so I'll get the rest of this tidied up, but I think this is pretty much done now, so we can get on with doing some of the fancy stuff from Industrial Foregoing. Right, so to get those machines running faster, but also craft the things that we need to use something called a dissolution chamber. It's just this thing here, and I think we've got everything yet, just a diamond gear, and that we're going to get through the diamonds doing this as well, so we need to be really careful. So, no, I don't want to use that. Just normal chest, thank you. Trap chest, that'll do. Right. So I may do another one of these, so we can use the pink slime separately, but let's just go with this one for now. So can I do it over here? Right, I can power it over here, but then I want to run an ME cable around here as well. And because I had to get another P2P in there as well, I've just stuck this one on top, so this is a bit of a convoluted mess now, but I am going to increase the size of this eventually, and it'll be easier to get more of these on. But for now, that does the trick, and I've also rewired some of the power around here as well, and tidied all this up, so it's looking a lot better. So now I've got 4 channels on this, so if I just take another one off here, again, this doesn't need to look too pretty, but if we just have this go along this way, I can just stick an export bus on it, and that should do the trick. Okay, so if I put my dissolution chamber there, and I'm going to put an export bus on the bottom, and that just like that should do it. So now With an export bus, it won't just export everything, so you need to tell it what to do. And if I just get... Actually, do I need to do that? Click on... Yeah, so if I just click on it, it'll just put it in the book anyway, so I don't need to do that. Right, so in the export bus, if I just go like... No, that's not what I want to do, because I don't want it to export buckets of latex. I want it to... So if I shift right click, it'll actually do latex. And now that should be... That's where it should be going, so that's good. Let's do the machine frame. And so this is the one that we can craft, nice and easy, but then we want to upgrade it to the simple machine frame. And for that, we need latex, one of the normal machine frames, plastic, iron, gold gears, and nether brick. So that's not too bad. Should be able to do that. And this is the plastic I brought across. I also need to get an external storage or an import onto the plastic I've got producing over there, but we'll do that in a minute. Smelt up a bit of netherrack, so I don't have any at all. Right, I think that should be it now. So let's tidy this up a little bit. That's full of latex, plastic. Yeah, you can't put multiple amounts in. Another brick, and finally the gold gear, and that should start doing it. Yeah, so it's not very quick, but we can upgrade this. And you also need to use the dissolution chamber. They're called, in this mod, they're called add-ons, not upgrades. So we want speed tier 2, and that is using latex, so that's great. So we can do that. Alright, so I think we should do that first actually, and then that'll make this process a lot quicker. Right, so I've added all, I'm going to do all 3 of these, and these I think all use latex, that's good. And so it's diamond gears and sugar, diamond gears and blaze rods, and diamond gears, furnace, and crafting table. Alright, but let's do the speed one first, so that's sugar, diamond gears, and sugar. Okay, so that's the first speed done. You can only put one of these in here, but we can also put the processing and the efficiency ones in here as well, so it should make it a lot better. So now, if we do this, this should be a bit quicker. Like that, and then we'll do the other one with the blaze rods. And yeah, look at that, way quicker. That very nice. Put that in there. Okay, so nail it there with this one. Redstone, glass panes, diamond gears. One of those, and one of those. Okay. So we've got speed, efficiency, and processing there now. Nice. Okay, so the other thing was the machine frame, wasn't it? So we've already got the simple one. I also want to do this next one, but this is the one that uses pink slime. So instead of doing that, what we should really get going now is... Actually, can I do these yet? No, I need to get the pink slime before I can do the enchantment stuff. And that's the same again for the mob crusher, but I can do the mob slaughter factory where I get the pink slime from. Okay, so this is just a craft, don't need to use that. But we are going to need to craft some add-ons for this as well, and that is done in there. So let's firstly do the mob crusher. Not the mob crusher, sorry, the mob slaughter factory. I always get this the wrong way around. Alright, a couple of swords, axe. And finally, we should be able to do this. Right, nice. Okay, so as I've got all the mobs pushing down into that second farm, into a 3x3 area, I don't need to do a huge range add-on. And what we need for these go up in stages. So the first one is just cobblestone. Next one is lapis. And then they go up and get slightly more expensive as they go. So gold, iron, diamonds, popped chorus fruit, and finally emeralds. But we need definitely one of the low ones. I'm actually going to try and do this with a lapis because I don't think I need much at all for a 3x3 area. So let's grab the lapis. Yeah, redstone, glass panes, and 4 lapis. Okay. So let's just set this down and we can see. So we'll just set it down like that. And if we right click on it, and this box here is a working area. So if we hold, so clicking that, it shows us, it just does it in a 1x1 range in front of it. But if we now put this range add-on in front of it, that is doing a 5x5 area, which is perfect because I'm going to have this one block away, so it'll cover the whole area of my 3x3 killing area. Right, so let's grab that, and I'll probably need to get all of these as well, but we can just set it down, see how it goes. So I'm just going to grab everything else I need, and we'll get over there and give this a test. Right, so I've got all that set up now. I've got the mob slaughter factory facing towards the killing area. I've put the range tier 2 add-on in there, and I don't have any other power set up over here, so I've just put a quantum entangle porter down, and we're exporting the power into there. And that should be more than good enough for the power. I can turn that range off now because I know it's alright. I suppose we just turn the mob farm on. Oh yeah, I did change this as well. I've changed this to an ender chest, and this is a new ender chest, white, blue, white. And this goes over here into the original storage area for the other mob farm. And just as before, it'll try and export it into here. If not, it'll go into this chest and then it'll get exported out into here. I have added another filter into here and another chest at the top, and this is just for anything from the Apotheosis mod, and that is just the crystals that are coming out of there will go into here. Now, I'm not going to get any of those when I'm using the mob slaughter factory. That is purely for when I'm killing them myself manually, but this is for the pink slime, so that's what we're going to do now. So we'll get this up and running. We'll go to our very sophisticated activation system for this. I am going to do this eventually, honest. Turn that on, and mobs should start going down there, and they should start dying, hopefully fairly quickly. Is it doing it? Yeah, so liquid meat is going into there. I need to get this sped up, obviously, but it is definitely doing it. And it's every time this green bar goes down, it'll kill a load more. So yeah, they're definitely dying. Got a tiny bit of pink slime, as you can see, but tons of liquid meat. So that's why I brought these. Firstly, I want the meat to come out on this side. And if I put a nullifier there, that should just get rid of it all. Yeah, so all that will go into there. And then I want a tank. Actually, no, could I just use an import bus for that? I probably could, couldn't I? Right, let's go to the pink slime. Let's push that to the right. I would normally put this into a tank straight away, but let's just try it. Let's see what happens. And I need to get a fluid scale over here somehow. That's going to be interesting, isn't it? Right, so I've got the import bus on there now, and all that wired up. And the pink slime has emptied out. So hopefully that will have gone into here. Let's have a look. Let's just have a look at the back. And we already have nearly a bucket of pink slime in there already, which is great. Now, we don't have any mobs coming, and that's because the activation range on these spawners is really low. So when I stand here, they are activated. So I'm probably going to need to speed this up a bit. Right, so I've got all those add-ons sorted, so we'll stick all those in there. And as you can see, that goes a lot faster, meaning it will kill them more regularly. So I just need to stand up here a little bit. I definitely need to go get some prism ring crystals out so I can do this for longer. A little bit. They're not even building up in there now, they're just going straight away. Alright, and the pink slime is not even exporting fast enough, so that's good. And we have over 2.5 buckets in there, almost 3, very good. And what about the essence? How are we doing for essence? 2 buckets, and that's just from the resourceful furnace, so that's not bad at all. Once we get the mob crusher going, we'll get plenty of that. Alright, I think I'm just going to have to hang around here a bit and build up a little bit of this slime. Yep, this is my life now. Right, so that didn't take very long at all, and I already have 10 buckets, and for the advanced machine frames, I only need half a bucket for each one, so that'll get me 20 of those, and I definitely don't need that many. Right, so to make this easier, I've crafted another one, and I've set another export bus on here, exporting the pink slime, and that is already in there. So we can seal it up, make that look nice, and it just means I don't have to worry about taking all the latex out and swapping it out. I can just have one of each. I don't have the upgrades in this one, so let's just steal those from there for the minute. I'll stick those in there. And for this, for the advanced machine frame, I do already have one of the simple machine frames. And to turn that into the advanced one, we need plastic, netherite scraps, gold, and diamond gears. So again, it's just diamond gears for everything. Don't have any of those yet. And I do need a couple of these, so let's do 4. And for the netherite scraps, I do have some ancient debris. I've been taking a digital miner into the nether and moving it around here and there and just setting it to look for ancient debris. And the great thing with this is, as well, is we can double it in the enriching factory. We get 2 for each of those. Right, so let's take that. And what was it? So like that. Diamond gear at the bottom, gold and plastic. And I still haven't got that storage drawer hooked up yet, but I will do that. Right, so gold at the bottom and plastic at the top. And that'll give us one of the advanced machine frames. Let's do that. So if we lock that, we can just shift click into it. And I need another one of these though. Right, I need to do that first. Okay, gold and iron. And let's steal these back. I definitely need to get these done as well. So let's have that. And those. Stick those in there. And that. And that'll give us our second advanced machine frame. Nice. So I could mess about with this a lot more, but I really want to get into the enchanting stuff. That was my main goal in this episode, and I know it's getting really long now, so let's craft up these 2 things I want. So firstly, I want the enchantment factory, and yeah, more diamonds. And the other one is the enchantment extractor. More diamonds again. But that's everything we need. Right, so I'm going to set this up next to my enchanting table because I think it makes sense. But this also needs essence as well. So once I get the slaughter factory up and running, actually I can do that now, can't I? Right, so you've seen how this is done now. So I'll get another one of these going. I'll get the mob crusher going, and then we can actually get some essence and use these things. So let's do that. Right, so back over at the killing area, and I've turned off the mob slaughter factory. I'm stolen the upgrades out there, and I've added them into here. I've got the ranged tier 2 add-on as well, and I've just put those in. But the problem with this is the absorption hopper doesn't pick these up. They go straight into here, so I need to pipe these out. So it's not going to be the prettiest setup really, but the good thing is we also have a ton of essence in here already. So this is way more than I've already got just from that resourceful furnace, so definitely worth doing. And I need to run some pipes under here as well, because I've also got an import bus, which I'm going to do the exact same thing that I did on there. So I want the essence pushing to the left. I have to put that on there, and somehow run a cable underground without it looking like a complete mess. So I'll just do something like that for now. Right, yeah, there we go. The essence is going down. I do need to upgrade that, put an acceleration card. I did actually put one at this side, so I can steal that for now, okay? Stick that in there, and that should go a little bit faster. I can put 4 of these in to make that a lot quicker, but that's probably good enough. And then I just need to pipe the items out, and we should be somewhere near. So I'm going to try and make this nice, or it's not possible, is it? Let's just do this. I can cover this up later if I need to. Let's open her. Has that already gone? Oh no, is that gonna? That's gonna import all the items as well, isn't it? I didn't want to do that. Yeah, let's not have that happen. Yeah, so there's all that junk, right? Okay, then need to let's grab a bucket of that, and I need to filter this. Only import that. Right, so if some items come into there now, they should stay there and not get imported. Right, so I've definitely got a ton of junk in my ME system now, but that's alright. Okay, so if we export this out this way, I'm definitely going to need an upgrade in there. That's a lot better. Right, if we stand here, we should see things going into there as well. Yeah, okay, that's good. Right, I'll have to somehow sort out the junk that's got in there, but that should do the trick, and I should have a ton of essence coming in as well. Okay, so let's just check that out. We've got 45 buckets. That's not bad at all. Right, so last step is to get these two set up, the enchantment factory and the enchantment extractor. Right, so I've done a little bit of work down here. As you can see, we have a little entrance down here, and it's not finished yet. There's going to be like a little nook under the stairs. And all I've done is set down these two machines here, and this is much more basic than I've done it in the past, but there is a reason for that. So the enchantment factory, what we can do with this is put any unenchanted item in here with essence, and it'll enchant it up to level 30. And then from there, we can take it into an enchantment extractor, and that will take all of the enchantments onto books. So I can put the books in there as well. And I've just put this barrel here because I'm going to put books in here rather than export the books directly, because I don't have loads of leather and sugarcane at the minute. But once I have, I can do that much better. And the other thing I've done is run a fluix cable over here and put an exporter on there, and already set it to export essence. And we have about 260 buckets at the minute, so we should get a fair bit out of this. So I'm going to cover all this up and tidy it up, but let's just see it working first. So do we have anything unenchanted I can just stick in there? What I really want is to get a decent pickaxe, and I don't have anything, do I? So let's just go for iron. It doesn't matter. Although I do find in vanilla that you tend to get better enchantments on iron than you do get on diamond by default. So if we can do that, take them off, that could be a bit of a cheat way, couldn't it? So we'll stick that in there, and I just need to connect up this fluix cable, and it should start exporting to that, and it should do its thing. Right, so the essence is going in there. Yeah, I definitely need to get some acceleration cards in that exporter. So tell you what, let's do that now. Let's just grab a couple of these. Right, got enough for 2, so let's stick those in. Put those in there. That should be a bit better. Right, so I'm not sure how much. I think you need to have a full tank of this before I'll start doing it, and it takes the full thing. So yeah, it is quite expensive. It's going to use a lot of essence doing this, but that has already gone straight into there, and it's taken the books off it, which is brilliant. And then the books just need to be stored somewhere. Once we get into the apotheosis stuff and we can get a library of Alexandria going, we can stick them in there, and it's going to be much better. But for now, I'll probably just put a chest or a barrel down here. It's going to have to be a big chest, isn't it? Because that's going to do a lot. And then I'm going to need to send it back in somehow. So this might not be a great way of doing it. Okay, so I may need to do a bit of rewiring, but that is the basics. And I did say this is simpler than I've done it in the past, and that is because when I've done it in the past, you could sometimes end up with a curse enchantments on here. For example, the curse of binding, and if you put that into the enchantment extractor, it wouldn't be able to take it off. So you'd end up with that still on there after taking all the other enchants off. So you then put it into another machine called an enchantment sorter, which I haven't put up there because I know I don't need it now. And then If it still had enchantments on it, you'd just basically destroy it because it's useless. And if it didn't, you'd put it back into the start, into here, and then it could start again. But I've been testing this a lot in creative in this version, and I don't seem to be getting cursed enchants on there anymore. So I'm going to trust that that is a thing now. And if it isn't, and I end up with a cursed enchant, I'll rejig this. But I think for now, this should do it. So I'm just going to move this around a little bit, and then we can have a look at the final result. Right, so I've tidied this up a little bit, and unfortunately I had to put a pipe in there, because just setting this to push that way and disabling everything else, it works the first 3, and then it just stopped working for some reason, so never mind. I've moved the chest along one and put a pipe there, set that to extract. And getting the item back into there was nice and easy. Now, this will only work because there's one item, but what I've done is set the enchantless item output to push to the left, and I'll go into here, and it's the same here for the input, it's on pull. Probably don't need both of them, but that's nice and easy. So I'll enchant in there, push into there, and then push straight back into there. I've just sent this through a few times, and I think it's used up all of the essence now, but we've got an absolutely ton of great books. So already efficiency 5, XP boost 3, efficiency 5, 4, and because we've got apotheosis, we can go above the normal vanilla level. So we've got unbreaking 4, XP boost 4, auto smelter as well, more unbreaking 4. There's absolutely tons of stuff, and fortune 4, definitely be having that one. And yeah, so just some really good stuff already. So I'm going to put a few more things through here as well, because even though the essence has run out, if I just stand up here, the essence will come from here and straight into there. Now, if I increase the range of these spawners as well, I'll probably be able to stand down there and do it, but I haven't done that yet. But what I can also do while I'm waiting for the essence is put some of these items through as well, because these are all enchanted, and if I just put them through that enchantment extractor, it can take all the enchants off. So I'll grab these first, because these leather boots have all got soulbound on them, so I definitely want that one. And if you don't know what soulbound is, it basically means when you die, you'll still have these items if it's enchanted with soulbound. So I can just stick that in there. That'll go onto here, and I can get these upgraded as well with the speed. Now you see, it didn't get pushed back because there's already something in there, and it's waiting for the essence. But I now have 3 soulbound books just like that. Nice. So that's what I'm going to do now. Get all that stuff in there, and I'll probably AFK a bit and get a bit more essence. And next time we're definitely going to get into the enchanting with apotheosis, because even though this is quite powerful, we can do some really crazy stuff with the enchantment setups. But for now, I'm going to leave it there. So if you have enjoyed this episode, please do leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye bye.